Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Freakshow and this is my Holosmith build guide, following the path of I launch. In this video I will go over my Holosmith build that I currently use in World vs World, both large-scale combat as well as small-scale roaming. First, let's take a look at the large-scale / GvG build. Before we begin, a couple things you need to keep in mind while taking a look at this build. Holosmith is a very explosive spec with high damage and loads of AoE CC. However, it lacks the tools to sustain itself and loses most of the crude support options compared to Scrapper. While you still regain your ability to cleanse allies and provide some stealth, every second spent supporting your allies is a second not spent doing insane DPS that the Holosmith is capable of. Holosmith is a DPS spec, that's all it is. A well-played Holosmith can out-DPS Scourges when given the right opportunity in a large-scale fight. Holosmith runs into problems, however, when these opportunities are not met. Seeing as Holosmith is a pure damage spec that requires you to be close to the enemy, the current metagame punishes Holosmiths hard by making it harder to push. The insane amount of pressure Scourges are able to output is hard to deal with as a Holosmith. That's the biggest weakness of this spec. It lacks the tools to be effective at range when the metagame promotes pirateship and heavy ranged pressure. If you do, however, find yourself a melee heavy squad led by a commander that knows how to play aggressively, you can easily farm your way to top DPS. We use the same stats as our previous Scrapper builds, with 3 pieces of Marauder's armor and 3 pieces of Berserker's armor. Our rune remains durability, since it is still the most beneficial choice for an engineer. For the large scale fights, sword and shield is the weapon set to go. Sword provides a source of quickness and a solid cleave when recovering heat, and shield helps us survive our dives. Both of these weapons are Marauders. For large scale fights you absolutely must have a Frenzy Sigil. This thing is completely broken for Holosmith and will enable ridiculous combo potential with high alacrity uptime. For shield I've chosen Severance to boost our stats considerably on interrupt. However, you can also run concentration for high quickness duration or bloodlust for some extra oomph on your Photon Forge skills. Our back piece is Marauders and all of our trinkets are Berserker Valkyrie. Alternatively, if you wish to have some more toughness, change your earrings to Cavaliers and your rings to Knights to get that 2750 armor while keeping 50% critical chance. For traits, pick Inventions, Alchemy and Holosmith. Automatic medical response refreshes your healing turret when you receive damage under 25% HP threshold. Mecha legs gives you permanent movement speed increase and reduces movement impairing conditions. Bunker down creates proximity mines and medkits around you when you critically hit an enemy. Protection injection provides you with protection when disabled. SRD makes you invulnerable when you are struck below 25% HP threshold, and HDH boosts your elixir duration and lowers their cooldowns. Prismatic Converter converts conditions to boons when deactivating Photon Forge. CC Eclipse gives you a source of stab on Corona Burst, and Enhanced Capacity Storage Unit gives you extra heat capacity and stacks smite for you when you are on high heat. For food buffs, you want to use fried oyster sandwiches for some extra power and damage reduction, and superior sharpening stones for some solid power output. Use healing turret for cleanse and water field. You have a lot of combo finishers, so you can get some solid healing from the 2 water fields. Elixir S keeps you out of sticky situation. Elixir U provides that permanent quickness in conjunction with Radiant Arc that boosts our DPS so much. Elixir Gun gives us small blast finishers and Condi Cleanse and a mandatory stun break. It is also our primary support option. And finally, Prime Light Beam is a core combo piece in our burst rotation. You can also consider Laserdisc if you wish to have more DPS output and the conditions aren't a problem to you. The usual strategy is to let the melee trains clash and push into the enemy backline with an opening created by the mosh pit of 2 melee trains battling it out. Open up with Corona Burst into a holographic shockwave. This will give you enough heat to proc the Prime Light Beam burning field, which should be enough to kill at least 2 to 3 people. When you sense incoming death, stealth away with Toss Elixir S or use the invuln to run away to safety. Heal up and repeat. Sigil of Frenzy will refresh all of your most important cooldowns during the downtime, so you can keep diving every time you recover to full HP and the melee trains are still clashing. For the small scale fights, use rifle instead of sword and shield. My rifle is Berserkers, but you can also use Marauders. Take Sigil of Air and Energy. Change inventions to tools and take reactive lenses for automatic stun break, lock on for reveal and extra vulnerability, and gadgetier for super speed on gadgets and reduced recharge. For Holosmith, use swap enhanced capacity storage unit for vent exhaust for some sustain and heat reduction on dodge. Change one of your elixirs to rocket boots for some insane mobility and you are good to go. For small scale, the vent exhaust is better since you don't spam your skills and therefore can take the full advantage of the heat mechanic. For Zerg fights, your goal is to output as much damage as possible, therefore you want to use your skills as much as possible. Enhanced capacity unit gives you extra room to use your skills and extends your burst combo on Photon Forge. Lastly, a quick note about Photonic Plastin module. It's bad. Locking yourself out of Photon Forge is really stupid. You want to have Photon Forge available whenever you need it. If you choose Plastin module, you won't lose heat while outside of Photon Forge. Let's say you go Forge, use one shockwave and get spiked down, forcing you to retreat. Now you have used half of your Forge and can't regain it while healing, therefore reducing your next burst combo by about 50%. In a long run, this is detrimental to not only your DPS, but also your gameplay and how you learn the class and get used to the class mechanics. Photon Forge is not supposed to be used like a tome. You don't just exhaust all the cooldowns and then let it refresh. You want to use it like a kit. Toggle Photon Forge to use necessary skills and then toggle out. Let it refresh while giving you passive benefits and then toggle in when needed. I've seen some engineers celebrate that they can finally get rid of the kits with Holosmith. This isn't the case at all. Photon Forge is one massive kit with 5-second cooldown. So there we have it. Holosmith is incredibly fun to play when you have a commander that knows how to push or from in general. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, post those in the below. I thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.